Today on the Relationship Revival Show, I'm joined by Anthony Crescenzo. Anthony is a first-generation Italian-American stand-up comedian who married a first-generation Greek woman in the middle of the pandemic. He's 10 years older than his wife, and they still live with his mom. He owned the Devil's Den Comedy Club in Newark, New Jersey, which closed down right after housing his first hour-long comedy special, Pinball, which is available on YouTube as of March 29th. You're listening to the Relationship Revival Podcast with John DeBach, also known as Mr. Spirituality. That's me. I'm your host, giving you insights and guidance from over 10 years in the field of this amazing journey we call romance. On this show, I go over everything you need to know about how to get into a relationship, how to get the most out of a relationship, and sometimes even how to gracefully end a relationship without pulling your hair out and going crazy. And occasionally, I'm even joined by new and old friends who are also relationship experts to bring you guidance and wisdom with new perspectives. Thanks for stopping by. Anthony Crescenzo, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You know what? After a lot of the different interviews we have that can sometimes get real serious, I thought, you know what? Let's get a comedian on here who knows firsthand what it's like to kind of vent about his relationship. And I loved your, you are living with your mom, with a woman who's Greek and you're Italian. And so you guys got married during the pandemic. Did I get that right?
Yeah, we did.
How long were you guys dating for?
We're dating, I think, okay, here's my whole thing. If I'm with you and it's been 18 months and I haven't asked you to marry me, I'm not going to. So it was, I think, right at that 18-month mark. And she knew it was coming. I know for a fact that she knew it was coming because she bought the ring on Amazon. So she definitely knew it was coming.
She bought her own ring?
No. She bought her ring with my credit card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not big on the whole surprise thing. So
nice.
I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And then I did the whole traditional thing of like asking her dad for the hand in marriage, but he doesn't speak English specifically well. So I just went to him. I was like, terrible. Like, you want, your daughter and I have been together. I want to marry her. You know that, right? And then he just looked at me for a minute, and then he just talked to me for like 45 minutes, but I didn't understand anything he said. And then he gave me a hug. So I was like, I think that means yes. I think that means it's okay.
Did he show up to the wedding? That's usually the good sign.
He did.
Right?
He did. He even showed up to the engagement party, which was the two of us at the wrong place because I listened to my mom. We were supposed to do it at Six Flags because we go to Six Flags like all the time, and my mom was like, "You're not doing your engagement at Six Flags. Like, you're not going to ask her at Six Flags." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." She goes, "We're going to a restaurant." And I went, "We?" She's like, "Oh yeah, we." And I went, "Okay." So we wound up going to a restaurant, and if you know anything about Greek people, you know that they're late all the time for everything. Their Easter is 2 weeks behind. Like, everything is late. So what wound up happening was they were late, and then we got there, and I got nervous. Stupid me puts a napkin on my lap because I'm like, this is a nice place, so let me put a napkin on my lap. And then I didn't realize that 2 hours later, this napkin was going to fall. And when it fell, I picked it up. Like, I went down to my one knee because that's what you would normally do. And I looked up, and I was like, oh, no. All right, I guess we're doing this. Because her mom was like, and my mom was like, and she was like, and I was like, all right. And I turned around and I grabbed the ring out of my mom's purse because that's where I put it.
All right.
And she goes, let me see that box. I know it says Amazon on it. And I was like, oh, okay. So how would it go? Georgia, I have no idea how to say your last name. Can we do this? And she's like, give me the ring. Like, okay. It was just
It sounds like that engagement had training wheels on it.
It was like her mother recorded the whole thing because as soon as I got down, everyone just expected it, and I was like, okay. Well, I was gonna do it anyway. Might as well do it now. But the weirdest part was, like, as we're going through all this, like, I really just said to her, I don't know how to do this. I have never done this before. And she goes, neither have I. Just give me the break. I was like, okay.
She sounds like a strong personality.
Yeah, she's good. She knew it was like, it's going to be a train wreck. And the problem is, it's all on him for this particular thing. And I am not the guy you want to be all in on ever. All the time she's like, okay.
Yeah, are you that kind of guy that just screws things up? Why do you say that about yourself?
I am. I think I'm trying hard enough. I really do. And I'm always like, all right, I got to give in a little bit more. I got to work a little bit harder. And then I try to work a little bit harder. And it's not her. It's any partner ever. You think you could do better? And I'm like, I know you could do better, but I'm trying. You know, like, yeah, I know. That's what's sad. I'm like, all right. So that I'll just go through everything, and eventually I'll just be like, hey, this isn't working. And they'll be like, what, why? And I'm like, you can obviously do better than me. This isn't working. And we didn't get to that point with her. So, I guess I'm in good standings for right now. We'll see how it goes. Eventually she's just going to be like,
you have another comedy special coming up called You Could Do Better.
Yeah. She's actually said that to me too. She's like maybe your second special, you should just talk about how you screw everything up all the time. And I'm like, isn't that what my first special was about? She goes, it was supposed to be, but that is not what you talked about at all.
So what's your situation now? You're living at home with your mom or her mom?
No, it's my mom. Because my mom has like a McMansion, so
okay.
Like, all right, we'll live over here. Which is nice, you know, until you're like getting all that. Well, we gotta have a grandkid. When we gotta have a kid, and I'm like, when you gonna leave the house? Like, I can't with you here right now. I'm like, here's a TJ Maxx gift card. See yourself outside. Like, what? I don't know. Like, I don't have. I hear a lot of people like always coming up with like those things where it's like, I call my mom up and be like, hey, do you want a pizza? Like, we're ordering pizza. What do you want on your pizza? You know, things like that. And it's like, oh, okay, pizza is code. And we don't have that. If I tell my mom, like, hey, I'm ordering pizza. What do you want on your pizza? She'll go, why would you order pizza? There's so much food in the refrigerator. What is wrong with you? I'm like, all right, I need a new code.
The Italian mother problem, right?
Yeah, well, Italian moms, Jewish moms. Like everything, it's not just the two of us. We go hand in hand. But like I find the Greek moms are the same thing. The French moms are the same. They don't leave the house.
Yeah, my mom's the same way. My Jewish mother, she has an emergency brisket in the freezer at all times, just in case.
Really?
More company comes over. It's fine. I'll break out the emergency brisket, and you know,
I am so jealous.
There's a new dinner. It's like in case of emergency, break refrigerator. You know, she's always got it. She's always got it in the damn freezer, and it's come in handy a couple times when like our flight's delayed and we had dinner planned. She's like, "No problem, come over, I got it." So yeah, it's a thing.
Dude, it's a genius move. I'm like, I want brisket now. Like, what's up? Can I just come over by?
I know.
Like, is it just? Oh, you don't live with your mom though, so this isn't gonna work.
No. I have 4 kids. I think it's for me. If I lived with my mom, even after I got married for a day, my wife probably wouldn't have gone for it. So you found a keeper for sure.
Well, that's what happens. You got 2 first generations. Like they both are under that European mindset, which is you leave when your parents kick you out, but they won't ever kick you out. And I didn't know that. I tried to leave like many times. I had a job when I was younger that like I was making enough money and I could have left. And then my mom's like, why would you leave? You don't have another house. I'm like, but I can go get an apartment. She's like, why would you waste your money on an apartment? You stay here until you get married. And I'm like, okay. And then I realized after, I don't know, like 10, 15 years that American girls will not marry you if you live with your mom. Like it's just, that's a deal breaker. I didn't know that.
So you had to start like Tinder swiping only on non-Americans? Is that what was the move there?
Dude, all the time. Like it was so bad. Like I would have to just go like, I got an email from either you or your dad that apparently I'm getting like $100,000. I just got to send in my bank requirements or whatever. And then like, you guys are going to send me the money and then I send you half of it back or something like that. And they're like, what are you talking about? I don't know. That was the email that I got. It's like, I'm not related to those people. I'm like, oh. Just weird stuff all the time.
Yeah,
but yes,
sure.
I was very hesitant about ever dating a first generation, and then I finally just went, you know what, you seem cool, and then she was like, oh, I'm a first gen too, and I was like, really? And that was the first time I'd ever dated one, and I was like, oh wow, okay, this is what this is like somebody that actually understands what I'm going through all the time. That I didn't expect. I expected what all of my other family members go through, which is a significant other who wants like everything painted in gold all the time, and that's expected. My wife is like, I am just happy that we don't live in a shelter. Like I'm okay with this for right now. She's like, the only thing is we're not moving into the house that we own until we can get a toilet and a floor to put the toilet on, because we also don't have a toilet or a floor. That's what I meant. Not the toilet.
So you own a house without a floor or a toilet?
Yep. It's just in the bathroom. There's no floor.
Oh, okay. It's just like raw dirt in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So you have one bathroom that's non-functional in the house.
Yeah. But I told her, I'm like, well, my bathroom functions. She's like, you go in a bucket. That's not the same thing. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, no,
like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, you should. Yeah. Try to get her done.
What about before your wife? Did you have any kind of struggles dating before you met your current wife?
Oh yeah. Like, all right. So I told my wife this. She's aware of it. I was, how do I say this correctly? I didn't really have what are known as morals or standards when I was younger. So I would just like, you know, like if Tinder was around when I was in my 20s, I would have like just put in tons and tons of money, because I would be like, this is the new thing. I am absolutely about this. But yeah, I dated a lot. And by dated, I meant like I'd go to parties and I'd hook up with a girl, and then we'd have fun like 3 times, and then we would just be over each other because we've realized that we don't actually talk. So that was always fun.
Did you ever get in a relationship with someone where you didn't know their last name after a while, and then you're like, hey, it's kind of embarrassing?
Yeah, that happened. I was just talking about that yesterday with somebody. All right, so there's this girl, and I don't mind telling the story full out, right? Because there's a very good chance that she doesn't know who I am anymore, because I wouldn't blame her. So I was dating this girl when I was a bar back, and yes, I was a bar back. Not a bartender, below bartender. The person that just like put stuff in for the bartender. So for whatever reason, one of the bartenders introduced me to a girl who was apparently giving really good tips. Like the girl happened to be like, "Oh, that guy, who's that?" Like, "Oh, that's Anthony." I was like, "All right, great. Is he single? Like, what's his deal?" It's like, "Yeah, I think he is single." And she comes up to me, she's like, "Yeah, you're single, right?" I'm like, yeah, are you interested?" She's like, "No, but she is." And I was like, "All right, cool." So like we started hanging out, and I was dating her for, I don't know, somewhere between 3 and 6 months. Like it was a while. And by dating, I mean like we would just go out after the bar and, you know, have fun in a car. And one day she told me this story. And by the way, as far as I knew, her name was Tony.
Tony? And
yeah, so I was like, okay, Anthony's dating Tony. Whatever. It doesn't make a difference to me. I made a lot of mistakes with that particular girl. None of them her fault, all my fault. So we go, we're having fun one night, and then she wants to talk to me afterwards. She wants to tell me a story. I'm like, cool. And she's telling me the story about her and her boss and like what happened. And I was like, all right, cool. She's like, yeah, so what do you think? And I went, before I even give you an answer to that question, let me ask you something. You kept referencing this person, Sandra, in your story. Like, yeah. I was like, you did not tell me who Sandra is. Who is this person, Sandra? She's like, I'm Sandra. I was like, your name is Sandra? She's like, yeah. I was like, I thought your name was Tony. She's like, no, you're Tony. I'm like, no, I know who I am. Your name's Sandra? She's like, Yeah, and I go, I am so sorry. I thought your name was Tony this whole time. She goes, oh my God, no. I just thought you were so full of yourself that you just kept referring to yourself in the third person. I was like, you think I'm confident? That's amazing. No. Oh, wow. Thank you for thinking I'm that confident. She goes, oh, thank you for just saving me from this relationship. And I was like, all right. Sorry.
That's pretty bad, man.
I actually went working out that same day. I thought she was Indian the whole time I was with her. Found out that day also that she was Puerto Rican. I had no idea until that, like, she's telling me this story, and then I was like, Sandra, and I'm like, and then I'm thinking about another part of the story. I'm like, wait a minute, you Puerto Rican? She's like, yeah. And I go, oh. She's like, why?
I feel like, Anthony, I kind of feel like if you were a girl, you probably would have been one of those women that had a toilet baby, not realizing you were pregnant. Like that's with the way you tell stories.
Prom night all over again.
Luckily, you don't have a uterus.
This, like, what happened here?
What about online dating? Did you have more luck with any of that?
No, none. Actually, okay. Here's what's crazy. Everybody I know, like, they do it and they're very successful with it through Match or Planet Fish or whatever they're using, Bumble, Tinder, whatever. I did not have that experience. One of my friends actually married to somebody that he met online, and also divorced to that same person. But still, like, some of my friends have, like, you know, good track records. So unfortunately for me, I only met one girl who was willing to date me from online dating. I'm trying to think of which site it was, but it doesn't matter. I once dated a girl who was like, yeah, this is cool. And I was like, all right, great. We went on the date. And look, I was very open to anything. I'm still like, I'm whatever. I don't care. She came on. She had a wheelchair. She was handy capable, very capable, more capable than handy. Not that like she couldn't hammer anything, but that's not the point. So she comes up, like, she meets me at the place. We go there, and I have never seen a handicapped person drive. I didn't know that they drive differently. I didn't know how their vehicles operate. She didn't come in like a van. It was like a regular station wagon, but the station wagon had her wheelchair on top of it. And while we were out on the date, I was like, whatever, that's fine, no big deal. Like, we're gonna hang out. I moved the chair out of the way, and then she was like, no, I actually wanted the chair. I was like, what do you mean you wanted the chair? And so she gets the chair, and then she like kind of wiggles herself over to the chair. I was like, this is great. This person's so you know what? This isn't going to go anywhere, but let's have fun. Let's just have some drinks and have a good time. I knew immediately this wasn't going to work, but I didn't care. I was like, yeah, this will be fun.
You knew because you weren't willing to date someone who had a handicap?
No, actually, sorry, Mike came out. No, it had nothing to do with her being handicapable. As soon as she rolled in, I just looked at her. I was like, "Oh, all right. Your profile picture looked different."
Oh, gotcha.
Not that yes, it was the chair in her profile picture, granted, but also like her face looked a little different. And I was like, And everybody has that experience. Like, somebody walks in the room, they don't exactly look like the profile picture. Maybe it was taken 5-10 years ago. Yeah, and you're like, whatever. But then this happened, and I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just have a good time. Let's just have fun. We're both here anyway. I don't know. Have you ever walked out? I've never done this, but have you ever just walked out on a person when they came in on a date? Because I don't have that in me. Okay, good.
No, yeah.
I'm sure there's people that do it, but I was like, you know what? There's nobody else in this restaurant. I'm going to look really stupid. So might as well just go through with this.
For sure.
And then when she came down to she's rolling in, and we have a couple drinks, and then she starts bubbling out of her teeth while she's laughing, which was adorable. I've never seen it. Like, all the fluids are coming out of her teeth like this, but like it's air. It was weird. So then at the end of the night, I'm wheeling her back to her car, and then she's like, "Do you want to see it?" And I was like, "What?" Like, how the wheelchair gets back on. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, yeah, why not? So all of a sudden, so this is how it goes, right? She's like, she has to wiggle herself into the driver's seat. And then from the driver's seat, she has like this remote control that picks up the wheelchair. And no joke, this is exactly what it sounds like. I was like, I am so happy I already decided not to date this Transformer. I think even if I was excited, once I heard that, not even saw it, just heard it, I'm like, boner gone now. There was nothing I could do about it. I'm like, there's no way I could have continued this. I felt bad because I felt like I am such a shallow person. But I don't know. I have no idea. Is that shallow or is it just?
I mean, a little bit, yeah. But listen, if you're not attracted to her, regardless of the handy capable, then yeah, for sure. But I think being honest with yourself. Some people might have like tried to continue that relationship. There was a whole episode on Curb Your Enthusiasm where he tried to like do it and he realized he can't do it. So it's like it's worse to drag it on for sure.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Amazing.
I tell my wife every day, I'm like, you have an out clause. Whenever you want to go, I'm like, I want to be here with you. Thank you for thank you for spending another day with me. Thank you for just wanting to be with me because I desperately want to be with you. That's how I look at it all the time.
What's next for you? You just are you still hitting the clubs as a comedian? How's that work for you and your wife? I mean, you probably are on the road a bit.
Yeah, I'd probably let's see. I have a show I do regularly every Monday, which is a live, like actually going there. And then on the weekends, like I'll travel. She comes with me, not all the time. Like she goes one show a week maximum, and then she'll she'll take the equipment if need be. Like I'm the one picking up most of the time. When I blew my back out, she actually helped me and like set everything up, and she'll like take tickets. But she's not. She's very introverted, so she's not real great at like the mingling aspects. So, like I can't really have her on the door unless I give her a script, right. Which I've never had that experience before. But she's been pretty good. She watched me freak out one night. We both know that I have a fear of heights, but my bigger fear of heights, it's ridiculous. I go to Six Flags all the time. There's no reason I should have a fear of heights, but I do. She likes to mess with me and take me on the Ferris wheel. Like she'll be like, come on, just come with me. And that's where it strikes the worst is the Ferris wheel. Just because I'm on there for too long and I'm looking down, I'm like, ah! But where I realized I have a new problem is when we're driving through like the Appalachians or any kind of mountain. Catskills is the same thing. And I didn't know this until it was me, her, and another comic that I was working with, also a woman, and we're just driving through. I'm driving, and I start to realize I'm having a panic attack, and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot that I can't drive through the mountains. Every time I look at the side of the road, I start freaking out, and I'm deaf, so I had the hearing aids in at the time, and I. Full blown because now it's echoing back into me, and I'm just like, oh my god, we're gonna die. She's like, we're not gonna die if you don't kill us because you're driving, and I'm like, I know. And then I forget if it was her or the other woman who like just went, why don't you just pull over and we'll drive. And she's like, all right. So I pull over and they're driving the car for the rest of the way home. And I turn to her when we get home because I'm having a full-blown panic attack in the back seat. And I'm like, rip out my headphones. I'm like, I can't take this. What is it? Why am I having all these problems? This is insane. And we get back home and I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. I don't mean to be such a misogynist. She's like, what are you talking about? You're a misogynist. And I was like, well, I must be a misogynist because there was a woman driving and I started freaking out. And she goes, you weren't freaking out because it was a woman driving. You were freaking out because we were driving on a mountain and you have problems with heights. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes way more sense. It's like, you honestly thought that that's what misogyny was? And I went, Well, yeah, it just means like you don't trust women. She goes, you wouldn't trust anybody. It had nothing to do with it being a woman, did it? Like, actually, you make a very good point. It had nothing to do with it being a woman. She goes, you're just. She goes, you're so adorably dumb. Like, thank you.
I think you're very lucky that you found someone that finds that adorable. Some people wouldn't have the patience for that.
I'm lucky. She signed over a clause that she can't divorce me, so I think we're okay.
Well, your comedy special drops March 29th, which probably will be published by the time this airs. It's called Pinball. You can find it on YouTube. Is that right?
Yeah. We put it out for free. We were supposed to put it out on Amazon. That was the original goal, but the producer died, so I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna put this one out. We'll have fun with it. And that way, honestly, I just want people that want to watch it to just go, yeah, go ahead. We have a sizzle reel out already, so they're probably 2 by the time this comes out. So those are fun. I've been sending those out and getting good responses to it. So hopefully everybody enjoys the special. I know everybody that came has like been begging me for it because we waited like almost a year to release it.
Oh wow. Well, that's great. That's exciting. I'll check it out when it comes out. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Dude, thank you for having me on the show. This is fun.
If you're interested in learning how to get the absolute most out of your romantic relationships, then you're in luck, because I have put together a free workshop or masterclass, if you will, about 3 secrets that people in happy relationships have discovered. You can view the workshop at mrspirituality.com/3secrets. Again, it's completely free. Just go there and watch it. It'll help you on your journey, give you some wisdom, some things to think about. The website again is mrspirituality.com/3secrets. That's mrspirituality.com/3, the word secrets. It's all yours. Enjoy.